Hello everyone, my name is Argelo Alazaro, taking the program Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics at Stern Visayas State University main campus, Tacloban City. Today our discussion is about the properties of inequality. The learning outcomes of this lesson. In this lesson, challenge yourself to attain the learning outcomes. First, state and apply the different properties of inequality and solve problems involving properties of inequality. Proceed to our proper discussion. Let us have first a warm-up or pre-activity. It is a matching type. So direction, match column A with the corresponding item and column B. So as you can see in column A, we have here jumbled letters and symbols. So all you need to do is to match the jumbled letters in their correct answer, which can be found in column B. You can pause this video and answer the problem. You can write your answers in the comment section. Alright, if you are done answering, let us see if your answers are correct. So number 1, we have the answer is inequality. So you can check your own answers. So number 2, it is a trichotomy property. Number 3, additional property. Number 4, it is multiplication property. And number 5, it is transitive property. And number 6 to 10, these are symbols. So for number 6, we have not equal. This symbol is not equal. Number 7 is less than or equal to or at most. Number 8 is greater than or equal to or at least. Number 9, it is greater than. Number 10, it is less than. So for those who got the high score, congratulations. And for those who did not, don't worry, because as we go along to our discussion, you can learn the terminologies and symbols in this pre-activity. So now let's move on to our proper discussion. So what is inequality? Inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares expressions. It contains the symbols less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal. So algebraic inequalities contain one or more variables. They are open sentences which are neither true nor false. In mathematics, an equality is a relation which makes a non-equal comparison between two numbers or other mathematical expressions. It is used most often to compare two numbers on the number line by their size. So there are several different notations used to represent different kinds of inequalities. So first, this notation, which means that A is less than B. And the next notation, which means that A is greater than B. This symbol is this symbol here, the greater than. So as we go along to our discussion, we will discuss more about the different symbols of inequality. In either case, A is not equal to B. These relations are known as strict inequalities, meaning that A is strictly less than or strictly greater than B. So equivalence is excluded. So in contrast to strict inequalities, there are two types of inequality relations that are not strict. So for example, this one, the notation which means that A is less than or equal to B, or equivalently at most B, or not greater than B. And the second notation is which means that A is greater than or equal to B, or equivalently at least B, or not less than B. Here are the different symbols of inequality which can be read in different ways. So first, the symbol, this can be read as is less than and is fewer than. The second symbol, this can be read as is greater than and is more than. The next symbol, this can be read in three ways: is less than or equal to, is at most, is no more than. And lastly, this can be read as is greater than or equal to, is at least, and is no less than. So remember these symbols because you will always encounter this as you study this lesson, properties of inequality, and also in other lessons that are related to inequalities. For example number 1, writing an inequality. A number x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 2. So we will write this sentence as an equality. So a number x minus 7, this can be written as like this, x minus 7, and the symbol of is less than or equal to is this one, and less than or equal to negative 2, copy negative 2. So an equality is x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 2. So this is how you will write an equality from a number, a mathematical sentence. So next, example number 2, checking solutions. A solution of an equality is a value that makes the inequality true. An equality can have more than one solution. The set of solutions of an inequality is called the solution set. So for example here, we have for the column 1, but we have value of x. For column 2, we have the inequality x plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 2. So is the inequality true? So for example, we have the value of x here is negative 6. Is the inequality true if the value of x here is negative 6? So we will substitute negative 6 to the inequality. So negative 6 plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Negative 6 plus 5 is equal to, that's right, negative 1. And negative 1 is greater than or equal to negative 2. And that is true. Because if you see in the number line, negative 1 is greater than negative 2. And if the value of x negative 7 is the inequality true, so let us see. Let us substitute negative 7 to the inequality. So negative 7 plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 2. So negative 7 plus 5 is equal to negative 2. And negative 2 is greater than or equal to negative 2. And this inequality is true because negative 2 is greater than or equal to negative 2. We have or equal there or equal to -2. So this inequality is true. So is the inequality true if the value of x is -8? So let us see. -8 plus 5 is greater than or equal to -2. So -8 plus 5 is equal to -3, and -3 is not greater than or equal to -2 because -2 is greater than -3, and -3 is not also equal to -2. So this inequality is false. So now let's move on to the properties of an inequality. So first property, we have trichotomy property. For any number a and b, one and only one of the following is true. And these are when a is less than b, when a is equal to b, or when a is greater than b. Only one and only one of the following is true. So for example, we have when a is equal to 7 and b is equal to 9, only the first statement is true because 7 is less than 9 is true, and 7 is equal to 9, it is not true. 7 is greater than 9, not true also. So only the first statement is true. When a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 3, only the third statement is true. Because 15 cannot be less than 3 and 15 is not equal to 3. And when a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 5, that's right. The second and only the second statement is true. 5 is equal to 5. 5 cannot be less than 5 and 5 cannot be greater than 5. If a number is greater than 2. If a number is greater than to a number, it means that it cannot be true to any statement which are less than and equal, because if that number is greater than, it is only greater than and it cannot be less than and equal to any number. I hope you understand that. So this property may be obvious, but it draws our attention to this fact so that we can recall it easily next time. So next, the second property of inequality, the transitive property. So for any numbers a, b, and c, if a is less than b and b is less than c, then a is less than c. And if a is greater than b and b is greater than c, then a is greater than c. So the transitive property can be visualized using the number line. So for example, this one. So a is less than b and b is less than c, so therefore a is less than c, and that is true. For example, if we have a number p is less than or equal to 5 and 5 is less than or equal to q, then p is less than or equal to q. And next example, if we have 15 is greater than 6 and 6 is greater than 4, then 15 is greater than 4, and this is also True. The addition property of inequality will be discussed in part 2 of this video. Thank you for watching.